Alright, so this is the motor that I was going to put in my 79 K10 Silverado. It's a 350 4-bolt main, board 30, roller cam. It's the GM Hot LT4 roller cam, and a set of Vortec heads that's been ported, screw-in studs and guide plates. So, like I said, I was going to put this in my 79 K10, but I went to a show the weekend and started thinking, and so what we have here is a 68 K10, and it's a true barn find. Of course, I found it in a barn years and years ago, and then it's been in my barn for 10 years. So it's time to do something with this. So we pulled it out. It's full of junk from sitting in a barn and having stuff stuck inside of it. And some kid vandalized it years ago and busted the tail lights out of it and the marker light, and kids having fun, I guess. But anyhow, this is it. Like I said, been sitting. I've had the truck at least 15 years. No, longer than that. Let's see. I bought this truck in 1995, probably. So I've had it for quite some time. I've had two motors in it. And actually, the motor in this wrecker was in it at one time. So we've been straightening up around here. We put a carburetor kit in the wrecker and a set of plugs that had fouled out. She's running pretty good. So we've moved some stuff around. I moved that service truck that's been sitting here forever and pulled some weeds. And we moved a 71 ton here. Just moved them out the way for the time being. And I think we're going to back this truck right here up in front of the barn. This was a 4-wheel drum truck because when it came out, it's a 68. It's got Grandier 4-speed and 205 transfer case in it, which is the good gear-to-gear transfer case. It's got power steering on it. It was a V8 truck and factory 4-wheel drive. And when I got it, the front end was off of it. I don't think this hood came with it, but the fender matches. I was missing a passenger fender, and I pulled one off of a GMC truck because it's like a 68 fender. So that's what we got, and it's got a, I don't know, 3-inch body lift on it, which is coming off, and I think we're going to stick a set of late model or square body axles up underneath of it, so we'll have disc brakes on the front, and so that's what we're going to do. So let's back this thing up, and we'll set her down and get some of the green washed off of it and see what she looks like. Alright, so we got one piece of fender trim off the fender we replaced, or for the fender we replaced, one piece of grill trim which needs some straightening, and the piece that goes across the front of the hood. And this is what it looks pre-wash. Bed's a little, got some holes in it, but it ain't totally rotted out. But you can definitely tell it's been sitting for a while. So we're gonna wash it up and get an idea what it looks like up underneath all this green. Y'all hang tight and we'll show you more. So this is what she looks like all cleaned up. She last on the road in '89. When I got the truck, it was under a lean-to at the junkyard, and it didn't have a front end on it, and the guy would stick small blocks in it and crank them up so his customers could hear them run. So he's basically using it as an engine stand. And I got the piece of chrome for the door, and it doesn't have a rocker. All this is surface rust. The bed does have some holes in it, and it's been used as a truck, so it's all wrinkled up. This tailgate doesn't have any rust issues, but somebody's drilled some holes in it. So, but it's fairly straight, so we're gonna work with it. So I got the chrome for the fender. Also have the cow piece. When the guy got it, he said it had 3/4 ton axles up underneath of it. And like I said, it's got a 3-inch body lift on it, which I'm gonna set it back down stock. Somebody's bobbed the rails on it, so I'm gonna fix that so I can put a bumper on it. Do have a grill and all. Don't have a bumper. Have to get a bumper. Like I said, it needs a rocker. That cab corner looks good. I think the cab corner on the other side needs replacing. Yeah, it's got a hole in it, and the rocker needs replacing too, so it's no biggie. Dash hasn't been all cut up. Not a bad old truck, and we're gonna make it a nice old truck. So somebody fixed it up in the 80s. It was what was that blue color right there? So we're gonna put a roll cam 350 in it, and drive it, possibly put patches, put quarters and a cab corner in it. And I don't know what we're going to do about paint. But biggest thing is we're going to get it going. Like I said, we're going to, oh boy, driver's side fender bottom. Pretty rough. But we're going to set it back down stock. Probably leave that size tire on it. That's a 31 1150. So sitting down some, that probably won't be terrible. Probably set real nice. So, thing been sitting way too long. Like I said, I put a motor in it when I first got it and drove it around the yard, but it didn't have any brakes on it. I didn't know what year axles he put up under here, and when I looked it up back then, it called for different wheel cylinders for each year, and they were high. They were like $50 a piece, and that was back in the 90s. So, and I didn't have the cash to put into it, so I let it sit. And then in the early 2000s, probably 2003 or 4, I built the motor that's in the wrecker and put in here. And then things happened and I pulled it out and put it in a different truck and so on and so forth. But this was the first thing that I put in my barn addition. This was the first truck I put in there. And now it's the first one I pulled out. So, well, actually the second, because that C10 in there that I've been working on, it was the first. And I got it running, but now it's getting a whole total rebuild. See, I put that in the barn in 2010 and pulled it out in 2011. And this one's been in the barn for 10 years. But, like I said, I got the motor ready to go. I got some square body axles. I'm going to stick up under there. And I'm thinking about Hydro Boost. So, front disc, rear drum, Dana 44 and a 12 bolt. And this motor right here. And it'll get the serpentine set up just because it's neat. And this big fat radiator right here. So we shouldn't have any cooling issues. So, y'all stay tuned. And we'll show you more on this as we go. Hopefully it won't take long. But that's what we got.